Alright, let's get going. 1398 with an unknown issue. That's going to be fun. It's always fun with these things. They're just old now, that's the problem. Even the 2015 ones, they're getting old. They had a good life, but for the most part, it's retiring time. Okay, I just need to get my chipmunk. The chipmunk's going to tell me what's going on, at least at some level. Failure. Yeah. 4 milliamps. Nothing. Okay. I guess we can say what is wrong is that everything is possibly wrong. I just realised there's a sticker on the bottom of this, so I'm going to have to take it off the bench, take the bottom plate off, so I don't become failure incarnate and revealing too much information. Hey there, Ed. Bacon manager. Someone brings home the bacon. The Games Pro. Hey, Daniel. You back for more? Thanks. I don't have any machines, unfortunately, tonight that I can thank you for on that donor board. I wish I did, but unfortunately I do not. Or maybe I do, I don't know. All I know is by the time I'm finished sending this one to the rubbish bin, it'll probably be too late for me to do another one. Okay, this has already got a replacement battery in it, which is a bad sign. Hey Arnold G. Okay. Yeah, so we've got an iFixit battery. Hopefully it's not like those screwdrivers. Okay, disconnect battery. Get data out. Because, wow, that was really talked in there. Got to put our code on this one. So we're at 1538. So if I completely stuff up, at least I'll have their data, I hope. Oh, you had one of the daughter board issues, did you? Daniel? But yes, the first thing we usually do is drop off all the various flexes and stuff like that, just to see if it's, because the daughter boards on these are known to cause issues. It looks comparatively clean. Hey Keith McDermott, welcome. I'm just hoping for a nice, obvious cat failure. You know, something that's actually something that I can repair, as opposed to something genuinely complicated that requires thinking. It's a little bit too much for me. Okay, chipmunk back in. Arnold G, I don't know if you're being facetious or not, but no, we do not. Okay, it's still 4 milliamp. Okay, board out. No point messing around. Board out. In part, I'd say, Arnold, because there never was a formal agreement reached or anything of that sort. There's no treaty established or anything like that. What we do tend to have is on the Australia Day, they have a protest for Invasion Day, and the rest of the country does whatever it wants, which is pretty much nothing most of the time, except run around, be stupid. Yeah. Parlay. That's a word that became suddenly known thanks to Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, you're right, Miles. We haven't done an SMC replacement in a while. How's things going in your shop, Miles? Wow, this is... You've got to be careful taking this flex off because you've got a lot of tension on the camera connector, and that tension gets pushed through on... It can... Sorry, what I mean to say is that that tension can cause the wires to come straight out of that camera connector, and when that happens, you cry. You cry a lot. Oh, I see you said partay. I thought you said parlay. Same old customers ringing up complaining their job's not done. Despite yeah, yeah. I've got a few like that. I did mention about the iPhone one that I've got at the moment, where I have to get a new battery for it. And it's like, yeah, I can't do anything until I get that battery. And of course, with the postal system now explicitly requiring, well, as far as I know, that you declare battery transporting, everything's gone to just be really slow to get batteries now. I always forget that you got to take this little clip out, otherwise you can't get the heatsink out. Oh yeah, and I forgot about this. It's been a while since I've done a 1398, and it shows. I can't see anything blatantly obvious here. Yeah, Daniel, my wife still uses a 1502. It's a 2014 or 2013 model, but it is getting to the end of its life, and I've switched up to a 1706, I think it is. Right, we're just going for the visual test here. Wait, is this a 3332? No, it's a 426. 426. It's probably dead CPU or something. No, actually, it wouldn't be a dead CPU. You would be getting something at least. I am legitimately just looking for a shorted cap, to be honest. Something that burned on the board. I don't think I'm going to be that lucky, but I'm hoping. Hey Murata. Yeah, I've got a few 1708s, and I was looking at using the 1708, but then I had this other one turn up, and I thought, you know what, I'll complete with the touch bar. And I thought, I'll give that a whirl. They're not my favourite. I don't like the touch bar when editing things, because in Vim you use escape for the switching between command mode, visual mode, stuff like that. And yeah, so it's definitely not a editing type MacBook, software editing. Hey Beeblood. Let's see what PP bus is. Also, even just for doing things like changing brightness and stuff like that, I find it awkward. Definitely the buttons across the top are a preferable solution for a lot of those things. Well, we don't even have a shorted PP bus. Let's see if we've got any other. That's just charging the circuit. That's fine. I'm just quickly trying a few random rails. This could be as simple as simply not having 3v42. Yeah, okay. Orbit view hasn't revealed anything, so let's go for close-up view. If that doesn't reveal anything, we'll have to go for proby view. Hey there, Caradog. How's it going over there? Alright, so let's start at the beginning and work our way through. Yeah. Where's the beginning? I prefer this. Ow! I prefer this side here as the beginning. Probably wouldn't hurt to check the fuses, okay? Yeah, so much for that one. So much for the dream. It's part of the one-wire circuit, I'm fairly sure. I'm also now just bored of, not bored, but I gotta admit I do prefer the USB-C setup these days. At least if you can ignore the pains that the CD3215s and 17s give you. I suppose that's a big ask to ignore that sort of thing. That's an unusual mark there. Though it does look like it's probably just arbitrary flux or something. Yeah, okay. I thought it might have been a punch through. There's a bit of fluff. Yeah, when the chip gets a particularly aggressive hit, it can just sort of pop a hole through itself. SMC itself, what is that? Okay, I've been caught out in the past. That looks like it's a failure on the SMC. There's like a crater there. But it seems to be frequently something that I do see. Yeah, it's just a dimple and not actually a failure. But you get excited when you see it. You think, "Ooh, it's ruptured. It's something." Oh, okay, that's interesting. First thing we've spotted. A bit of corrosion here on the CPU. No stuff pad for a cap. And while that in itself isn't going to cause any problems, it does tend to at least tell us maybe we are looking for the green monster here. So by the time they got to this era of the 1398s, they were, underfilling all these, because prior to that, a lot of these little parts, caps and resistors were getting eaten to death by the corrosion. So yeah, by the time they got to this iteration, they were pretty savvy on what they were doing. Certainly more so than what they did with the 3332 with the piece of rubber to stop the that U8900 issue, which of course didn't stop it, it just hit it for a little longer. Hey Jürgen. Let's see, speaking of fixing up 1398, giving it to your dad to replace his 2010-11. What year is it, I suppose? I think the problem is that, yeah, we've definitely seen failures, PCH failures, CPU failures, drive failures, yeah. A lot of age-related failures are starting to happen now. A bit like myself. Okay, 47 on the mark. 10 on the mark. No problem there. So it doesn't look like we've had any aggressive current come through there. We'll come back to this area afterwards when we start probing, because we'll be looking for 342. I didn't bother to... I couldn't hear the speakers making any noises, but it's not to say they weren't. I mean, I am a terrible person for being able to hear anything. Alright. This, apart from that itty bitty speck of corrosion, we're not really seeing a lot. Guess we're gonna have to start probing. Meh, that's not the way I wanted things to go. Alright, so be it. I'll just plug in the MagSafe one more time, just to be sure. Make sure I'm not losing my mind. Well, it definitely responds. Nothing unusual about... Alright, okay, anything coming in here at all? Okay, we've only got millivolts coming in there. This is really weird. We've got a bad MagSafe adapter maybe, is it that simple? I mean, I can see some green in there. Guess we'll go right back to the start and see what's going on. Hey Horst, how's it going? Definitely probably not able to do a gym cam with this one at 4 milliamps. That would require some NASA level. Okay, so we do have 18 volts coming into here. Okay. Alright, this is also part of the one wire here. So if we're getting 18 volts there, but then it magically vanishes here, that's interesting. Let's go back into continuity mode. Yeah, we've got no shorts or anything. So somewhere between here and the input, we've got perhaps some very high resistance or an open circuit. So we're going to have to bring up the board view and the schematic. I thought it might be in the fuse, but I did check that, but that doesn't mean anything. It did beep when I tested it. Alright, now with these particular boards, it's a real horrible mismatch of the boards, like the 163, the 426, and the, let's see the other, I always forget the third one, 138 I think it is. They're just a horrendous crap fest. Jürgen and I actually buy my cleaning fluid, ultrasonic cleaning fluid. It's a little bit expensive, but yeah. Okay, so we were measuring down here. We've got no short showing, but and the resistances are fine. So we've either got something going on with the fuse, or something going on over here, or maybe PP, DC in G3 hot isolation isn't being driven. It's yeah, it could be a couple of things. Could even be something like the Zener's gone all funny on us. Alright, so let's go to 7005. Yeah, like I said, check both sides of 7005 and just make sure that we're not being complete imbeciles. And we'll just keep working our way down towards our 342 section. Damn bugs are flying all over me tonight. Okay, 1709. Okay. Let's check what this resistor is showing. 17. It's almost like that gate's not being told to turn on. Let's see, D7010. Okay, this here is the Zener. Now we should have 6.8 on one side. Yeah, we do. 6.7, that's pretty normal. Zeners, they're pretty good, but they're not ideal in reality. K-Byte solutions use bad caps. Some of us did actually put stuff up there. Could be that. It's interesting, on this model they use two separate MOSFETs. On the 163 they use a single large MOSFET. Let's see if we've got voltage on the other side. Hey Nick Basie, did a glass replacement iPhone. Hey Pedro. Yeah, I don't do the glass replacements. It doesn't look fun. Okay, we have got 17 volts there. That's very interesting. Do we have 17 volts over here? Yes, we do. So it's like we're getting 17 volts out, but we're not at 7020. That is really bizarre. Do we have it up here? That is really bizarre. There. Okay, so we've got 17, 17. And then for some reason, by the time we get over here, we've got SFA. Or do we? Oh, now we've got 17. Oh, that's just fantastic. And now 17 there. Okay, we've got millivolts there. Alright, okay. Is that a 0.7? Maybe the diode's left. But yeah, now that's 17 there. Okay. So we've got 17 on one side, not on the other. The diode is kind of looking kind of messed up, so let's put that up for blame. Ah, crap on a cracker. Well, it's definitely my weak point, that one transition that I don't really have a good, reliable transiting method for. Oh well, you'll all just have to suffer. At least I can see what I'm doing, and that's what matters. Hey 3X. Wait, is that moving? That's moving. That's moving. Look at this. Oh, check that out. Oh, wow. The damn thing was broken. Oops. Neat. Well, completely missing its nose. Fancy that. Who knows how that happened? It could well have been because it was installed incorrectly, or wasn't a nice clean install, that just over time the thermal cycles eventually broke it, or just vibration, or maybe it was when the battery was changed and that just sort of pushed it over the edge. Hey Catherine. Yeah. Okay, the diode's okay though. I'm getting a little picky with what I use off donor boards. So if anything looks a little bit sus, I'm like, yeah, pass. No, Miles, it didn't desolder itself. I think what happened was it fatigued the actual leg snapped off at the body. So I think it got installed incorrectly, and then because it was installed incorrectly, the forces were able to mess up that connection to the point where it just fatigued and snapped. Catherine, we're doing pretty good. Need to do a lot of work, get a few more things built and stuff like that, but you know, it's doing okay. Though I wish the little shitheads would not wake me up every half hour. At the moment, the biggest of all is Milo. And I try talking nicely to him when it's 4:30 in the morning and he jumps up on my bed and he goes, wow, meaning, are you awake? And I want to go outside so I can watch the TV. And I'm like, no, Mo, I can't let you out. And he goes, whoa. And I was like, nope. So I try to bribe him with food, and that works for about 15 minutes. Aw, that's exactly what I was trying to not have happen, but anyway. But then he comes back and he starts biting me, and he gets aggro and I get aggro. And we continue that sort of process until about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, when I eventually let him outside for about 15 minutes so he can do whatever he's got to do, and then I'll bring him inside, and then everybody sleeps. It's very frustrating. Should be happy you don't have kids. Believe me, Trady, when you got close to a dozen cats, it's well, not all ours, but you know, we look after a dozen. Just when you've got some settled, the rest decide they're going to have a bad day too. Alright, let's see how we go with this. Oh, green light instantly. Yep, 1.8 amps. So that was it. One little snappy snap of the leggy leg. That's not even worth cleaning. I'll just make a bigger mess. Yeah, Daniel, it's just murderously cruel, the little buggers. So we basically end up becoming night people. Not that we weren't before, but although at the moment it's basically only Milo who does this. Everybody else has either become a mature and responsible cat, or no, I don't know, they just don't do it. See, the problem is Milo, of all of them, he really is a cat that likes his outdoors. He just wants to go outside and watch the geckos. You can't, but we don't let him out really at that sort of hour in the morning. No, I can't sleep if they're outside. There was a phase where we let him out into the night pen, hence called the night pen, yeah, all night. But because we've torn down the fence that created the night pen as a smaller entity, we can't do that anymore because they've just simply got too much room to run around in now, and we won't be able to hear what they're up to. Right, now the fun and games are putting it all back together. I suppose it could be worse. I remember the first time I had to deal with a 1398. It was a 3332 job, And it was actually a customer Lewis had forwarded on to me. And Lewis said to me, he says, "You'll be right, you know, just, it's easy, do the 3332 U8900 fault, easy money for you." And at that point I was used to the 1286s and I was used to the 1466s, but I hadn't actually ever encountered a 1398 before. And I gotta admit, I was actually, I was quite intimidated by this board. You know, the whole process of disassembling it, reassembling it, you know, particularly because at that time, I wasn't sure how to handle this sort of delicate area down here, and so I just wanted to take it all out. Oh, freaking bug up the... No, that's... finger goes up the nose. Stop that sucker getting in there. Oh my god. Ah, goddamn bugs. They went straight up the nostril into the sinus area. Disgusting. Hey there, Harold. Anyway, so yeah, I found this board to be particularly intimidating. But nowadays, it's like, yeah, you know, it's more just annoying than intimidating. But familiarity does help so much when it comes to dealing with these situations. It's like with the zombie game that I play, 7 Days to Die. Like the first time you take on a new sort of job area, you creep along and it takes forever to get the job done. And you find it very exhausting. And then after you've done that 2 or 3 times, you just roll through the place with a shotgun and whatever, and kind of singing as you go. So yeah, familiarity goes a very long way to providing you the confidence you need to do the job well. Oh, come on, Miles, it's not that bad. You just got to make sure you get a lot of nasal hairs. The more nasal hair you have, the safer you are. Tradie Trev, you've been befriending the wildlife. There's one brush turkey that comes running up to... Oh, really? That's cool. Those things are pretty skittish, so, you know, you're getting friendly with it. That's pretty good. I mean, they're always keen to get into your food and rubbish. But when the humans actually show up, they tend to skedaddle. We actually have deer around here and the occasional fox, which is kind of weird, but yeah, we legitimately do. I was looking for a couple of the wildlings in the paddock next to me the other night, and I could see these sets of eyes and they were just too high up. And I knew they weren't horses either because, well, there's no horses in that paddock anymore. And yeah, sure, it turns out they were venison, deer, whatever you want to call them. Okay, the humidity, you kind of win on that. It can be a bit much. By the way, the microscope ring light boards probably be here Monday, Tuesday. They are in Australia now, finally. I don't know why I bother paying the slightly extra money for the supposedly faster shipping, because it doesn't seem to get here that much quicker. The only way I can get truly fast shipping is if I select DHL or FedEx or something like that. But then they charge me around about $60 for the shipment, which is ludicrous considering it's, you know, just small circuit boards. But they add about a $40 surcharge because I live in a supposedly remote delivery area, and it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough, whatever. You're just scamming me for money, really, but whatever. And then I have ordered the next revision of the USB-C meters, and I've ordered next revision, I've created a USB-C mini board. The mini board is slightly larger than the first prototypes that I created. See if I can find one of them around here, because yeah, the mini board, it's a bit wider and a bit less tall, and I have got two USB-Cs and two USB minis on it. So when you're setting it up on your desk like this, you can choose whether you want your data cable on that side or your data cable on that side, and then switch your USB-Cs around, and that way it makes it easy to set it up wherever you want. The next version of the big one, it's going to have the rounded corners, and so there's not much else different. I did slightly enlarge the standoff holes because I found it was just a little bit too tight there. I can't do much about the ones that go into the LCD panel itself, but at least if I make them a bit larger on the main board, it makes it a bit easier for me. Yeah, so yeah, they're probably gonna. I'll be lucky if I get them by Christmas, as far as I'm concerned. You saw my movie on how to upgrade MacBook Air to M1. I haven't, Harold. Have I? I don't think I have. Or are you being funny? Can't tell. Yeah, Kristen, sometimes you will get a very rare scenario like that where everything just lines up, it's like the perfect relay race, and they get you your stuff in a time that you could not think was even feasible. But 90% of the time, it's a complete disaster. B-Blood, no, I did not design them for a particular box. I used to do that sort of thing. I would design boards so they would fit inside particular styles of boxes. But with the advent of 3D printing and all that sort of stuff, and most of the time, I'm more of a believer of the circuit board is the case as much as I can. I really would have preferred to have found a 16x2 chip-on-glass version of the 8x2 chip-on-glass that I had, because then it would have made the whole thing a very nice low-profile board. But alas, I could not. I don't understand why, but it is what it is. I went through AliExpress and several other places for quite some time. I found some things that were close, but nothing that was genuinely what I was after. So yeah, we're gonna just go with the classic 16x2 type display. By the way, Harold, I did end up having to use a particular divider to get the contrast on this. I wasn't able to just go with the 0 ohm to ground sort of thing. That didn't work. So I don't know why that is, but yeah. So I just used a trim pot. Then once I got it to the contrast I wanted, I copied that value and then set it on the board. Yeah, we are booting, by the way. Oh crap, I've just realised I'm supposed to put the speakers in this thing, and that usually, I think on this model, means I have to take the board out. Oh, that's some serious emotional damage. Not 0 underground, but single resistor. Oh, right, okay, Harold, I misunderstood you. Alright, well that makes a lot more sense then, because I was sitting there going, how the hell does Harold do it with the 0 ohm to the ground, shorten it to ground? And yeah, in my case, I think it was, I think it was a 800 or 900 ohm resistor. I think I will leave the speakers for another day. Tomorrow. What's the time? 23:40. Alright, that's it. I think it's time for me to say goodnight. I'm very glad that this one turned out to be amazingly straightforward. So it's good to see that just because it's 0 ohms, it didn't mean it was a short. Not every time it's a short, though we often wish it was. But it didn't take much of looking at the schematic and the board view and working out that something weird was going on. And sure enough, with that broken leg off the nose of the SOT23 transistor dual diode pair, we worked it out. So I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Wish me luck with the speaker replacements tomorrow. I'm really not going to enjoy that. I do know that I've got to take the logic board out. That's a big fat boo-boo. I'll see you later. Bye.